Hello again, everyone. Edwin Lerner back once again. In this likely YouTube shadow band astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about Mars sextile or trine Saturn in the natal chart. We may easily, if you have, first off, I'm sorry, I'd be kind of rewind. Some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the aspects in the natal chart. They were a little bit concise. Some people may have referred to them as snappy, so what I decided to do was make another series on them in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So anyway, first thing up is if you have Mars sextile or trine Saturn in your natal chart, you may very easily find that energy and vitality, which is Mars, for career-related matters, which is Saturn. Now, let's say, for example, if you have Saturn in Taurus, career-related matters, or the career may be connected with geology, carpet laying, architecture, agriculture, gardening, cultivation, finance, banking. It could be a career in which you go about in a very plotting, methodical, and deliberate manner, as some examples. And also, too, having these aspects in the natal chart may also manifest in readily being able to balance the activities associated with sexual partners, which is Mars, and the father, which is Saturn. And if you have, let's say, Mars is in Aries as an example, sexual partners may be, one or more may actually be an Aries sun, moon, or ascendant person, or simply embody the characteristics of the sign. It could be people that are very aggressive, assertive, forceful, courageous, combative, quarrelsome, argumentative, but can also be impulsive, impetuous, and impatient as well. And the thing too is that that this could also apply as far as the balancing act for matters that you have enthusiasm for, which is Mars, and laborious work, which is Saturn. Now, let's say if you have Saturn in the zodiac sign Cancer as an example, laborious work may be tied in, with home, family-related matters. It could be home renovation, remodeling, real estate, cooking, restaurant, culinary work, doing something with laundry or plumbing, whether it's a business or whether it's just simply part of your day-to-day responsibilities. Now, the thing too is also, if you have Mars sextile or trine Saturn in your natal chart, it may also be expressed in being able to concentrate, which is Saturn, with little difficulty on matters that involve leadership and action, which is Mars. Now, the thing is, let's say if you're go to Mars and Cancer as an example, leadership may be in matters pertaining to your home and family, taking on a leadership role. In that, let's say, if Mars is in Virgo or even the sixth house in the natal chart, it could be expressing leadership at your place of employment. It could be simply showing enterprise and initiative at the place of employment as an example. Now, also, too, Mars sextile or trine Saturn may also be about, if you have any issues, that are associated with the knees, the bones, the hamstrings, joints, or gallbladder, which is Saturn, it may have less of an adverse effect on your vitality, which is Mars, than most people. It's interesting because I have Mars making a very tight sextile to my Saturn in my natal chart, and I have some issues with my knees, and it doesn't seem to have much of an adverse effect or conflict with my energy level and just my general enthusiasm day to day. The thing though is if you have Saturn in Taurus, your natal chart, those issues, if you have any, with the knees, the bones, the joints, the gallbladder, bones, they may be more persistent. It could be, more stubborn type of issues. If Saturn is in Aquarius, it may be more sporadic, erratic, intermittent. It may be more nerve-related, as some examples. Now, also, too, these aspects can be auspicious as far as discipline, which is Saturn, which is energy, which is Mars goes. And the thing is, if Mars is in Leo in your natal chart, there may be a lot of energy, may be injected into things connected with entertainment, acting, extroversion. It may be doing, work that involves children or creative endeavors. It may involve the military, even product demonstration, because Leo energy is about boasting up things. And another thing, too, is that the father, older people, and authority figures, which is Saturn, may admire and respect your courage and leadership ability, which is Mars. Now, let's say if Mars is in Scorpio, as an example, you may express certain leadership prowess and ability, maybe in matters, with wills or estates, or it could be, handling, upheavals, crises, making a transformation, a major change, needs to be made. It could be, in matters pertaining to support, whether it's emotional, moral, or monetary support. Another thing, too, about these aspects in the natal chart, it may also be expressed as far as having, if there's arguments or disputes, which is Mars with those people I just mentioned, Saturn-related people, the father, older people, and authority figures. They may have more of a tendency to be more constructive, in terms of a disagreement, as opposed to ones that may be more acerbic or result in a contentious situation, with these people. If Mars is in Sagittarius, as an example, those arguments may be tied in, with beliefs, philosophy, religion. There may be arguments that are connected with sports, but they could be less, acrimonious, as opposed to, say, like a Mars square or opposite Saturn, as examples. Now, another thing, too, about Mars sextile or trine Saturn in the natal chart is that you may find it easy to find the drive and motivation, which is Mars, for your responsibilities, which is Saturn. Saturn in Cancer may emphasize home, family-related responsibilities, things that are more introverted. Saturn in Virgo may be more connected with health and fitness, diet, nutrition, employment, as another example. Also, too, Mars sextile or trine Saturn in the natal chart may also manifest in finding it easy to plan, which is Saturn. The actions, just in general, which is Mars. Mars in Aquarius, for example, actions may be really connected with altruistic humanitarian endeavors, maybe connected with astrology or astronomy, computers, electronics, innovation, as some examples. Now, also, too, there may be less of a propensity in terms of accidents, which is Mars, at the place of business, which is Saturn. It could be due to just smartly, taking precautions. Saturn is in Pisces, as an example. You may, the place of business may be some factory where there's a lot of chemicals, that are in use, and, there may be a tendency to, maybe slip on something or accidentally, chemicals may be exploding and causing, some kind of, accident, as some examples. And also, to these aspects, Mars sextile or trine Saturn in the natal chart may be favorable and beneficial for surgery, which is Mars, associated with chronic illnesses, which is Saturn. Now, let's say if Saturn is in Capricorn, as an example, there may be chronic issues connected with the knees, the bones, the joints, the gallbladder. If Saturn, say, is in Libra, there may be chronic issues with the kidneys, the lower back, the endocrine system, as another example. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Arnold saying stay well.